중요해요? 지금의 내가 중요한 게 아닙니다. 내가 족보가 그게 중요해요? 뼈대가 그게 중요해요? 그러니까 우리 족보 뼈가 없으면 사람도 안 되는 거예요. 지금 내 자신이 가장 소중한데 우리 그걸 못하는 거예요. 지금 여기 앉아있는 여러분들 자체가 가장 소중한 겁니다. 이걸 1592년 4월 13일 날 임진 대란이 일어나요. 이때 일본 몇 명 외놈들 몇 명이었느냐면 15만 8천 명이 와요. 이때 우리나라 군인은 몇 명이었느냐면 8천 명이었어요. 8천 명. 15만 8천 명이 밀고 오는데 우리나라 군인은 8천 명밖에 안 됐어요. 이 8천 명은 나라를 위한 군인이에요? 왕을 위한 군인이에요? 왕을 위한 군인이에요. 백성을 위한 군인일 수가 없어요. 우리가 일본 놈들을 쪽발이 그러는데 나는 거기에도 동의할 수 없어요. 일본은 쪽발이 나라가 아니에요, 여러분들. 왜냐하면요, 우리 남한은 지금 10만 제곱킬로미터인데 일본은 37만 제곱킬로미터예요. 우리나라보다 4배가 나라가 커요. 그리고 우리는 5천만인데 일본은 인구가 1억 2천만이에요. 우리나라 인구가 2배 많아, 2배. 1억이 넘으면 대국이라고, 대국. 그리고 우리나라는 경제 규모가 1조 달러인데 일본은 경제 규모가 7조 달러예요. 우리나라보다 경제 규모가 7배 큰 나라예요. 중국은 14조 달러. 그런데 전 세계에서 일본 놈, 중국 놈 무시하는 건 대한민국 사람밖에 없어요. 대한민국 사람밖에 없어요. 그러니까 수천 년 동안 당하고 사는 거예요. 제대로 우리의 모습을 본 모습을 못 보고.
Okay, so this one's actually pretty funny, but it's a good point again. So basically, Korea has been through a lot, but he's saying we dig our own grave. That's why we go through a lot. Back when Japan took over Korea, I'm talking about like in the medieval times. Well, Korea had like a few thousand troops. Japan had like maybe 100,000, 108,000, something around there. Okay. Well, let's see. Actually, it might have been 80,000 troops, and then they had 100-something thousand troops. So now, if you do the math, you know, we're outnumbered. But the reason behind that is because in Japan, everyone fights for the country. For the country. That's something different from Korea back then. They fought for the king. Yeah, like no form of nationality whatsoever. So kind of sucks. And even China had some form of nationality back then. So we were really outnumbered, and we somehow managed to make it through that war. We won, but we could have done better. We won by strategy, not by men, and that's not, you know, winning by strategy is great, but winning by men, their motivation is even better. And you lose less lives that way. And so there's that. But now, in the modern time, Korea is constantly like looking down on Japan and like going like, Japan tried to take over our country. Like they're like evil people. We shouldn't trust them. Something like that. And I'm thinking like, well, technically we made it possible. The 2 times they tried to take over the country, we made that possible. The first time was with no form of nationality, but like loyalty to the king. That's it. That's all we had for us. Plus, the country's Korea is like 4 times smaller than Japan. So there's that. And the time when they actually succeeded taking over the country, people always they didn't consider the humans at that time. They were considering who are your ancestors? What did your ancestors do? Are your ancestors important? If not, then you're not important. Something like that. Almost like a caste system. And because of that, there's been a division, like a split. Those who are worthy and those who are not. And so while Korea is going through that rough time, Japan's like, we can take over the country now. And they did. And then Korea took it back with, kind of like a revolution. Yeah, they took it over again. But, we didn't have to go through all that if the country was first, not the people, Like, if there were any form of nationality, we would have been fine. Now we have some nationality, which is why we were able to take over, or Korea was able to take over the country back from Japan. But it's not enough, because right now Japan's doing so much better financially, and they have so much more people, so many more people. Even though it's 4 times larger, it's mostly mountains. And here we should have at least 2/3 of the population of what they have, but we only have half, maybe less than half of what they have, because we don't try hard enough. Financially, they're at the top. We're almost at the top. We're around the top, but we're not at the top. Even China is doing better than us in that aspect. And we always, in America, we respect Japan. Well, I guess it's because, they make good products. They have good manners, We respect Chinese people because, well, they know what they're doing. They can take care of themselves. But Koreans make fun of Japan. They're like, Japan, they're good for nothing. If they're good for nothing, then they should, what is Nintendo? What is Toyota? All that stuff. And even in China, if China wasn't, Korea makes fun of China, going oh, China, they're just terrible. Well, China is, isn't it true that most countries have some kind of contract to trade with China? Like America, they trade with China. They do that. Korea does it. Japan does it. So what's wrong with that? What's wrong with China? Plus, a lot of Olympic champions are from China, more than Korea. And so there's that. And it's so sad that China doesn't make fun of Korea, Japan doesn't make fun of Korea. Heck, they don't make fun of each other. So why should Korea do that? And so weird, because Koreans in America, they keep that tradition. They don't really, appreciate those different Asian people. Koreans tend to have arguments with each other, claiming that person's wrong, I am right. Who cares? If you're wrong, then accept it, If you're right, then don't brag about it. Don't try to make someone, don't force it upon someone. But that's what Koreans do. That's how they function as Koreans. And they need to change that, because I'm pretty sure Japan doesn't do that, which is why they're wealthy. If everyone in a business was like, no, you need to do it like this, and then some people are like, you need to do it like that, it would split. That company would split. And one of them would fail, one of them would succeed, less income. Because of this problem, there's like less respect among kids to their parents. Less respect. Like, I mean, yeah, there's respect, but in Japan, your father or your mother is absolute. You have to listen to them. In Korea, you could just, you could decide, I'm going to be a delinquent. I don't care. I don't respect my mom. I don't respect my dad. I don't really care anymore. I'm just going to do whatever I want and then go the wrong way. And even when the mother tries to teach them that it's wrong, a lot of people don't listen. That's just sad. I mean, when my mom raised me till I went to America, she did not do that. She made me respect her. She respected me. So, and she didn't want me to be the number one. She wanted me to be happy. So, like, financially and socially, Korea is screwed up.